So very excited to talk about this figure. This is the new Bandai Movie Monster series Biollante in the 6-inch scale. This just got released in the past couple weeks, and this is a brand new Biollante sculpt, the first that Bandai has done in their flagship line since the 1992 figure. I know that there were gash pawns and candy figures and whatnot, but those were never the core of the Bandai Guzzler product line. It continues to be the Movie Monster series. So this is the first Biollante sculpt from them in 26 years since the 1992 figure. And it is fairly impressive once you get around the same issue that plagues most Biollante figures, which is the size relative to the Godzilla in the same line. This is undersized. Excuse me. This is undersized, and despite being a bit small for the kaiju that it's supposed to represent, this figure is done very well. The detail is very nice. It addresses one of the drawbacks of the 8-inch figure, which is the painted teeth on the tendrils. So now this, at least the front appendages feature painted teeth. The teeth on this tendril and the tendrils in the back, unfortunately, do not have paint applied, but it's probably a cost-cutting feature that they opted to implement. But the profile from the front is very nice, and the teeth, which can be noted, the teeth are actually movie accurate. There's a missing tooth in the upper row of teeth, as you can see here on the side, which is identical to the missing tooth on the actual suit, as you can see. As I mentioned in my 8-inch Biollante review, the image on the tag is the same image that is featured on the box of the 8-inch Biollante, which is a nice touch. The jaw on the 8-inch one, which kind of featured an indentation or like a double joint in the jaw, is now gone for the most part. It's now straight. The lower jaw is now straight, so that corrects that feature. The detail on the molded body is pretty nice. Again, you can see the vines and the texture on the actual figure. Very, very well detailed. The plant fins are also very well detailed. The back has absolutely fantastic sculpting. Particularly for a figure this size, it's fairly impressive. A drawback is that the rear tendrils are molded straight into the body. They're not separate like the 8-inch Bandai. So that is a drawback of this figure. Forgivable in a way, because this is supposed to be a budget product and is also meant for children. But still, the way they handle it is nice, featuring the tendril kind of coiling up and against the body, reminiscent of some of the stylized Biollante figures. The overall toy is molded in kind of I would say a light forest green plastic, similar to the 8-inch Bandai. You can see the hole for the molding. Copyright Bandai 2017, made in China. And the tag, I like how it features this. It's right here on the side. It says customer service inquiries are not accepted from outside Japan. Oh well. But overall, size comparison, just to see how it compares against a standard 8-inch Bandai. I'm going to get my Mechanicong out again. You could see, based on Mechanicong, that this figure is a bit undersized for the 6-inch line. But again, the sculpting is done very, very well, so it is forgivable. Now, let's compare with the 8-inch scale Biollante. So right away you can see that the jaw issue that I mentioned on the 8-inch scale has been corrected, so which is a nice touch. The plastic on the new Movie Monster Series Biollante is a much lighter green, so I would say not as accurate as the shade of I don't know, I'm not good with color names, but the shade of kind of very, very grayish green on the 8-inch Bandai. Of course, the 8-inch Bandai also has the highlighting detail on the fins, which is a nice touch, but lacks the painted teeth on the tendrils. The 8-inch does have the better articulation by default, since all 4 can articulate. The 6-inch only has the front 2, but because of the pose of the front 2, the tendrils can rotate with kind of a butterfly joint going side to side, whereas with the Bandai 8-inch, the same articulation is found side to side, but it features all 4 tendrils. The head does not articulate. As you can see that there is a seam. It's just an attachment point. I tried doing it and I didn't want to force it. But overall, pretty good value for the retail price of, I think, 1,600 yen. I bought this here at a local shop in Midtown Manhattan. It was $30. Once you factor in shipping from Japan, it's about the same cost. Don't want to focus right there on the tendril. But get like a 4-inch tall Godzilla 1989 figure. I don't have one because I don't have too many candy figures. But if you get a 4-inch tall one, 3.5 to 4 inches tall, he should come to right about here, which would be the perfect scale with this Movie Monster Series Bandai. This is, again, a fantastic figure from a detail perspective, and I think if Bandai releases more of these at this level of detail, I think we're in for a treat. And one more profile. So again, this is a 6-inch scale Movie Monster Series Biollante.